This morning I'm going to give you a little bit of a origin story about how I came to van life as an exit strategy. I was 58, I was working 10-hour days still, and I didn't know how to stop. I was afraid to stop because, of course, when you're the sole proprietor of a small business and you stop, the money stops too. So I happened upon the minimalists, and I took their financial inventory. And there are some deep questions in that inventory about what does joy look like for you? What is enough? What gives your life the most meaning? And how much time do you get to spend on those endeavors? As opposed to just making that money, paying those bills around and around and around. So I took that inventory and I sat with those questions. And I came up with some answers. And I decided I wanted the decade of my 60s to be very different from the decade of my 50s. So I did all my research and I got my van and I downsized and downsized and purged and purged. And I thank goodness that I was set on this path. It was very intuitively correct because little did I know that when I started at 58, within 3 years, I would be dead. One bright morning, without a cloud in the sky, as so they say. So early one morning, I dropped dead at work. I had a cardiac arrest at 61 years old. And there are no satisfying reasons. I am not morbidly obese. I do not drink to excess. I do not smoke. I don't do drugs. All the things. I'm a very healthy person. I was always going on every healthy kick. I've been everything from vegan to carnivore, very concerned and responsible about my health, and a nicely active life. So I dropped dead anyway. And the miracles, the series of miracles that enabled me to still be here are a whole nother story. But I was faced with the question, what now? So it's kind of amazing to me that death is such a catalyst. I have spent the last year recovering from my cardiac arrest, learning what I can do and what I cannot do, and how much of each I should be doing, and things like that. And since I was already moving towards debt-free and selling all my things, and I already had the van, I was more determined than ever to live my dreams. And death also was an affirmation that I was on the right track, because having died and been given a second chance, so to speak, the plan really didn't change much. In my recovery year, I watched a lot more research, YouTube videos, and there are a lot of women that are doing van life in more handicapped states than I am, and in equally low financial circumstances. I had to take my Social Security at 62, and it is painfully low. Just, wow. But it's okay for van life. Like, you can have, most people in this financial strait, you get to choose between rent and a car. And with van life, you get to have both. I can have a car, and my car is where I live, so the maintenance on my car is my rent. And I liked that. I loved that even though I'm on an extremely limited income, I can still have a life. My van life is going to be much slower than I originally planned. I thought that I would get to work till at least 75, but I don't get to do that. And so I am learning about how frugal can I be, and it's amazing the difference between what I thought I needed and what I actually need. It is amazing the difference in, I used to love to go to restaurants and eat prime rib, and now I enjoy top ramen with a few fresh veggies and a little bit of meat, and it's simple and wholesome and good. So it's not that I don't love the prime rib, but I love not having to pay $50 for dinner. Even when I had that kind of money, I love that I now choose to pay $1 for dinner. It's amazing to me. I was very much a consumer, and this set of circumstances is so complemented by Vanlife, and I am so free and so happy, and dropping dead at work. I mean, come on. The next time I drop dead, I hope that it's, with something, a beautiful view, or with my puppy in my lap, or in a much more contented place. And that's my goal, is to just bring as much contentment to my life and the lives around me as I possibly can, and look inside my heart and give away everything that I have left to give. And one day at a time, see how many of those days I get this time. So with that, I'll say happy trails and see you down the road.